inventory of mileage. Roll call?
Mr. Armstrong.
Here.
Mr. Bonacci. Mrs. Powers.
Here.
Mr. Spangler.
Here.
Mrs. Wright. Here.
Okay, please stand for the pledge of allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, I wish to recommend that the Board of Education approve the minutes for the following board meeting, May 14th, 2012, community meeting work session, May 29th, 2012, special meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Spangler, seconded by Mr. Armstrong. Roll call.
Mrs. Powers.
Aye.
Mr. Spangler.
Aye.
Mrs. Wright. Aye. Mr. Armstrong.
Aye.
Okay, Mrs. Falker, your report.
Okay. Item A, financial report for May. I wish to recommend the Board of Education approve the financial report for May 2012 as presented in Exhibit Number 1. So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mrs. Wright and seconded by Mr. Spangler. Roll call.
Mr. Spangler.
Aye.
Mrs. Wright. Aye. Mr. Armstrong.
Aye.
Mrs. Powers.
Aye.
Item B, check register for May. I wish to recommend the Board of Education approve the check register for May 2012 as presented in Exhibit Number 2.
So moved.
Second. Moved by Mr. Spangler, seconded by Mrs. Powers. Roll call.
Mrs. Wright. Aye. Mr. Armstrong.
Aye.
Mrs. Powers.
Aye.
Mr. Spangler.
Aye.
C, close of fiscal year 2011-12. I wish to recommend the Board of Education grant the treasurer permission to transfer, advance, modify receipt estimates and appropriations in order to close the books for 2011-12, and to transfer to the general fund proceeds from Fund 019, representing amounts attributable to special cost centers whose activities have terminated and for which all obligations incurred and payable have been paid as presented in Exhibit Number 3. So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mrs. Wright and seconded by Mr. Spangler. Roll call.
Mr. Armstrong.
Aye.
Mrs. Powers.
Aye.
Mr. Spangler.
Aye.
Mrs. Wright. Item D, the permanent appropriation resolution for fiscal year 2012. I wish to recommend the Board of Education approve the financial appropriation resolution for fiscal year 2012 as presented in Exhibit Number 4.
Second.
Moved by Mrs. Wright and seconded by Mr. Spangler. Roll call.
Mrs. Powers.
Aye.
Mr. Spangler.
Aye.
Mrs. Wright. Aye. Mr. Armstrong.
Aye.
Item E, temporary appropriation resolution for fiscal year 2013. I wish to recommend the Board of Education approve the temporary appropriation resolution for fiscal year 2013 as presented in Exhibit Number 5.
So moved.
Second. Moved by Mr. Spangler and seconded by Mrs. Powers. Roll call.
Mr. Spangler.
Aye.
Mrs. Wright. Aye. Mr. Armstrong.
Aye.
Mrs. Powers.
Aye.
Item F, unclaimed stale dated checks. Recommend the Board of Education approve the unclaimed stale dated checks totaling $3,211.53 as presented in Exhibit Number 6, to be moved to Fund 007 Unclaimed Fund, 5-year account, until such time as it can be determined that the checks be turned over to the State of Ohio Unclaimed Funds Program.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Spangler, seconded by Mr. Armstrong. Roll call.
Mrs. Wright. Aye. Mr. Armstrong.
Aye.
Mrs. Powers.
Aye.
Mr. Spangler.
Aye.
Item G is a resolution to return and accept checks as presented in Exhibit, as presented on the resolution, and totaling $556.81. So moved.
Second. Moved by Mrs. Wright, seconded by Mrs. Powers. Roll call.
Mr. Armstrong.
Aye.
Mrs. Powers.
Aye.
Mr. Spangler.
Aye.
Mrs. Wright.
Okay, thank you so much. Are there any comments this evening? forward with the superintendent's recommendations.
Thank you, Ms. Bowers. I do wish to recommend that the Board of Education accept the resignations as outlined in the agenda in item A.
So moved.
Second.
Are you going to do them all separately?
Yeah, I'm going to do them separately so I
Okay.
can make some introductions.
That's fine. I'm sorry, it was moved by Mrs. Wright, seconded by Mr. Spangler. Thank you. Roll call?
Mrs. Powers?
Aye.
Mr. Spangler?
Aye.
Mrs. Wright? Aye. Mr. Armstrong?
Aye.
Item B is the employment of 3 teaching positions. I'd like to recommend that the board approve the employment of the teachers identified in agenda item A. We do have in attendance a math teacher at the high school. Deborah, don't call me Deborah, actually Nicole Markham. Deborah Nicole Markham goes by Nicole, and she is here tonight, and she went through the Jones grilling with the interview process and did a great job, so welcome. I'm not sure if any other of our teachers are here that okay, just wanted to recognize you, so I do wish to recommend that the board approve those contracts.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mrs. Powers and seconded by Mr. Spangler. Roll call?
Mr. Spangler?
Aye.
Mrs. Wright? Aye. Mr. Armstrong?
Aye.
Mrs. Powers?
Aye.
In item C, I wish to recommend that the board approve the employment for curriculum development work for STEM for this summer for Jake Miller and David Turnett. As you know, with our new STEM program, we have approved we're asking the board to approve up to a maximum of 25 hours for curriculum work to prepare the program for this fall.
Wasn't there a state help with this?
There is a state curriculum. The curriculum doesn't cost us any money.
Right, yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I wanted to bring up.
Absolutely.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mrs. Powers and seconded by Mr. Spangler. Roll call?
Mrs. Wright? Aye. Mr. Armstrong?
Aye.
Mrs. Powers?
Aye.
Mr. Spangler?
Aye.
Item D, I wish to recommend that the Board of Education approve the new administrative contracts as listed in the agenda. And first, I would like to introduce my recommendation to be the new high school principal at Stow Munroe Falls High School, and that is Mr. Chris DeMauro. And I've been in this business quite a long time, and to have the opportunity to witness the kind of visionary leadership that this gentleman will bring to the high school. I'm just absolutely thrilled about our opportunity and the opportunity that our kids will have, and our staff, and all of our employees under his leadership. Not only is he a visionary, he's well respected. His role that he was involved with last year, he was just phenomenal with. He sees the big picture, and we're all going to be very, very happy with his leadership. So I'd like to introduce Mr. Chris DeMauro.
I'd just like to take this opportunity to thank Dr. Jones and the Board of Education. My team and myself are incredibly excited for the opportunities that we have at the high school. It's our vow to continue the quality education that all of our students receive and to even expand upon this and to take our building to new heights. I'm truly excited about the opportunity. I would like to introduce Mr. Mark Treen, Assistant Principal at the high school. And I'd like to introduce Mrs. Amanda Murray, Assistant Principal at the high school. Also, our third Assistant Principal, Mrs. Kathy Thomas. Excellent.
We look forward to your leadership
Thank
and,
you.
and your fantastic team. We're all very, very excited
Thank you.
about that. I also wanted to introduce the recommendation as principal at Echo Hills, Mr. David Albrecht. Mr. Albrecht was a teacher here at Stow Munroe Falls City Schools and then became the assistant principal at Lakeview when I arrived, and I was always very impressed with Mr. Albrecht, with his professionalism, his knowledge of technology, how he dealt with staff and treated our students the way we all would want them to be treated, how he worked with parents. Unfortunately for us, he did leave and ended up in Western Ohio, in Tiffin, where his wife is from. and then ended up coming back to Northeast Ohio, and has most recently been the principal at Southeast Primary.
Yes, sir.
Building. And we went through some interviews with Mr. Albrecht, and I kind of knew what we were going to see. And we had the building leadership team at Echo Hills, and they interviewed him, and it was pretty grueling. And the first comment from one of the teachers was, after he left the room, is, "That guy knows his stuff." And I concur. And so I'd like to welcome Mr. Dave Albrecht as the new principal at Echo Hills.
Thank you, Dr. Jones. Thank you, members of the Board of Education and community members. It's great to come back. It's a bit of a homecoming for me. Very much appreciative of the trust that you are placing in me, and please know that I take that responsibility very, very seriously, and look forward to serving the communities of Stow and Munroe Falls yet again. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
So I wish to recommend the board approve those new administrative contracts.
So moved.
Second, moved by Mr. Spangler, seconded by Mrs. Powers. Roll call.
Can I have a quick discussion, please?
Sure.
Mr. DeMuro,
Yes, sir.
I want to say one thing. I was very impressed. I just met you this year. You came on board as a board member. I was very impressed with your passion. I want you to keep that passion. You're putting a lot of trust in a young team up there.
Absolutely.
Keep it up.
We will. Thank you.
You know, a team and a veteran over there.
I know how you feel now. I mean, I'm looking at this age group, I'm going, whoa. But, yeah, I
Thank
was
you.
very impressed with your passion.
Thank you.
Okay, once again, it was moved by Mr. Spangler and seconded by Mrs. Powers. Can I have roll call?
Mr. Armstrong?
Aye.
Mrs. Powers?
Aye.
Mr. Spangler?
Aye.
Mrs. Wright?
Aye.
Item E is a resolution authorizing the separation, authorizing the superintendent to execute the separation agreement with Richard Jackson. We should recommend the Board of Education authorize the superintendent to execute the separation agreement with Richard Jackson as presented in Exhibit 11. And as you know, we are reorganizing administrative duties for efficiency and also cost savings. And so I'd like to recommend the board approve that resolution.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Spangler and seconded by Mr. Armstrong. Roll call?
Have a discussion, please.
Certainly.
I went back and forth quite a bit with this. HR, even though it's, when everyone talks about HR, well, those are the nasty guys, personally. Because it's substantial cost savings, it's the 10th a year, and that those duties are going to have to be shared among other members of the staff. And I just can't stress enough that we come out with that, what those duties are, and make it public to everyone, and especially the staff, so that they're not confused and they know where to go when they have a particular problem. A lot of it I know is going to fall on the principals now, so a lot of you, and so a couple of our key staff members here in administration will be doing a lot of the mundane type backbreaking work. But I just can't stress enough that we need to come out with that as soon as possible.
It was moved by Mr. Spangler and seconded by Mr. Armstrong. Roll call.
Mrs. Powers?
Aye.
Mr. Spangler?
Aye.
Mrs. Wright?
Aye.
Mr. Armstrong?
Aye.
Item F is high school roof replacement. I wish to recommend the Board of Education award the bid for the Stow Munroe Falls High School roof replacement to National Roofing and Sheet Metal Company Incorporated and enter into the contract as presented in Exhibit 12. And as you know, we've been doing a lot of kind of preventative maintenance, not only with our asphalt, but also our roofs. And we have no major roof projects this year. And we've been keeping an eye on that high school, particularly the front piece. It's a gravel roof, and with the water coming down, it's washing the gravel away. It's an item we've been keeping our eye on, and we thought it would be prudent with no major projects to implement the first year of a 3-year plan to make a replacement there so that we have some longevity with that roof.
by Mr. Spangler, seconded by Mrs. Wright. Roll call.
Mr. Spangler?
Aye.
Mrs. Wright?
Aye.
Mr. Armstrong?
Aye.
Mrs. Powers?
Aye.
Item G, Ohio Schools Council membership. I wish to recommend the Board of Education approve membership for the district to the Ohio Schools Council for the 2012-13 school year. This is, of course, a consortium of school districts, and they negotiate all kinds of good purchasing rates for us, including electric primarily, and gas as well, and other purchasing opportunities, and it gives us a great chance to save some dollars.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mrs. Powers, seconded by Mr. Spangler.
Mrs. Wright?
Aye.
Mr. Armstrong?
Aye.
Mrs. Powers?
Aye.
Mr. Spangler?
Aye.
Item H is disposal of equipment. We do ask all the buildings to identify items that are obsolete and are broken and not in repair on a yearly basis. So I wish to recommend the Board of Education approve the disposal of miscellaneous items in accordance with Board Policy 7310, a copy of which is available in the Treasurer's office.
So moved. Moved by Mrs. Powers, seconded by Mr. Spangler. Roll call.
Mr. Armstrong?
Aye.
Mrs. Powers?
Aye.
Mr. Spangler?
Aye.
Mrs. Wright?
Aye.
I have a number of items I would ask the board to take together. Those are items I through O on your agenda, items I through O, including property fleet insurance, the contract for services for Akron Children's, which is a continuation of their services. We've been very, very pleased with them. Also, PRN therapy services, and PSI, and also a contract for waste removal, which is through Public Services, which has been our vendor in the last year, and that also was through Ohio Schools Council for waste removal. So unless there's any objections, I wish to recommend that the board approve the items I through O as they are listed on your agenda.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Spangler and seconded by Mrs. Wright. Is there any discussion?
I have one quick question. On the liability insurance, I just want to make sure, when I was treasurer of PTSA in high school, we saved quite a bit of money because they were included in our liability insurance. Is that still the same?
I believe all units are included in it.
Yeah, they're still there?
Yes.
Okay, good. I just, when we were reading that, just thought came to my mind. Right, you have the list of all the organizations. Okay, good.
Okay, once again, it was moved by Mr. Spangler and seconded by Mrs. Wright. Roll call.
Mrs. Powers?
Aye.
Mr. Spangler?
Aye.
Mrs. Wright?
Aye.
Mr. Armstrong?
Aye.
Item P is the Coca-Cola proceeds. I wish to recommend the Board of Education approve the use of Fund 018 SCC 9234 for the asphalt alternate bid for D zones of the high school stadium.
Can you elaborate on the D zone, what area that is, please?
Yeah, as we're doing the turfing of the stadium, if you kind of picture an oval and the very ends, the end parts of the oval, and kind of picture that looking like a D, that needs to be asphalted as part of the overall project. And this allows us to use the Coca-Cola proceeds, which I believe is about $80,000 left in there. This is about a $60,000 asphalt project. So we just want to make sure that we are, it's part of the overall asphalting that we're doing across the district.
If I could clarify, these are former proceeds. Several years back, the board took action for that year and the future years, which this is the last year. We have received Coca-Cola proceeds to direct those to the athletic program. So these are the monies that have been from former proceeds before that time. So they need your action.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mrs. Powers, seconded by Mr. Spangler. Roll call.
Mr. Spangler.
Aye.
Mrs. Wright.
Aye.
Mr. Armstrong.
Aye.
Mrs. Powers.
Aye.
Okay, item Q is payment in lieu of transportation. Whereas the students identified below have been determined to be residents of this school district and eligible for transportation services, and whereas after careful evaluation of all available options, it's been determined that it's impractical to provide transportation to these students for their selected schools. So Basically, what we look at is students who are going to parochial or private schools, we are obligated to provide transportation to them. And if they have limited ridership in terms of paying diesel fuel, the cost of the driver, we do have the option of paying them with state funds, payment in lieu of transportation. If we have big ridership, of course, we do the transportation piece, but these are to allow us to pay the students that we are not providing transportation to because of the minimal ridership.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Spangler, seconded by Mr. Armstrong. Roll call.
Mrs. Wright?
Aye.
Mr. Armstrong?
Aye.
Mrs. Powers?
Aye.
Mr. Spangler?
Aye.
Item R is gift. Wish to recommend the Board of Education accept the following gift from the Munroe Falls Rotary Club donating $1,500 to the high school speech and debate team.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Spangler, seconded by Mrs. Wright. Roll call.
Mr. Armstrong?
Aye.
Mrs. Powers?
Aye.
Mr. Spangler?
Aye.
Mrs. Wright? Aye.
Okay, thank you so much. Under old business, we have the updated Neola board policies, the second reading, and a complete copy of the updated board policies from Neola of Ohio is available in the superintendent's office under separate cover. We also have the second reading for textbook adoptions, ones listed below, which are AP Economics textbook, AP Government textbook, AP Biology, AP Psychology, and a Biomedical Technology textbook adoption. Those textbooks as well are available in this office. Okay, and prior to us going into new business, I would like to just take a moment, silence for Gino Alfieri. And the board would like to extend their sympathies and prayers to the family. Is there any other new business?
I have one, couple issues I wanted to bring up to the board. I don't know, I didn't hear anyone talk about, I thought maybe you had that email earlier from the Ohio, who was it from Ohio? It was about the law, the Ohio Education Service Center Association. And they have a plan, just like any other plans that we've done in cost savings, where we can have what they call a school law hotline. And looking at the rates, I saw the rates that we had on the last one was around $250. And looking at these rates, they look substantially lower. And I'd like to start this firm I know has done business with our school district before, to do a study on this. Quickly looking at the check register over the last 14 months, we've spent an average of about $31,300 on attorney fees per month, which is around a little over $370,000 annually. We could probably have somewhere around $80,000 to $100,000 a year savings with this Ohio hotline. Pardon?
Which firm are you talking about?
Smartly, and they've grouped with the Ohio School Board,
So it's not one of the ones that we
Education
have.
Service Center.
It's not one of the ones that we have approved.
No, but we have had them prior to this. And at that time, I believe there were substantial savings.
I think we should have a study on it to find out.
Yeah, I think we should have a study on that.
That's fine.
And
Number out there, we
I've
can-
offered to, and I'd like to be involved in that study since I've worked with this before. And I've asked, sent an email today out asking to sit down, do the analysis, grab the worksheets, look at the hours, look at the dollars. and
From
go there.
Markling?
Pardon?
From Markling, you requested information?
No.
Oh, from,
You have the email. It's from us.
When did you send that email?
It was sometime today, I forget.
I never saw it, I was just curious.
Okay.
But
Check
anyway,
it out.
I wanted to sit down and go through that information and gather it up and do a study on that. The other thing was, I put together, I know you saw that email, on the electrical usage and that, on electrical and energy, as far as natural gas. I put together a series of charts and usage over the last 5 years. Unfortunately, I had 3 schools where I didn't have all the information, but we should be able to get that information and that. And it does, there's some pretty interesting trends developing there. And I think we might be able to put together a program on our own without spending $500,000 that we could and have the students involved and to look at our own carbon footprint.
$500,000?
I would spend
Yes.
$500,000.
The presentation that I saw last week, the last board
Last
meeting,
board meeting.
yeah, was $500,000 over 4 years.
Well, they have a guarantee.
Yeah, they had a guarantee, but the guarantee was that we would give them $500,000, they only guaranteed up to the, so it was a zero-sum game for us. The guarantee was a zero-sum game.
I thought it was over the lifetime
No.
of the project.
No, it was $100,000 a year, $112,000 a year for the first 4 years, plus the employment of their consultant, or a consultant that we would hire over 10 years at about $30,000 or so a year. So it was $500,000.
I'm sure that's in the discussion process,
Well,
and
we
we've
can
not,
talk about it.
Yeah,
not
but I think,
contracted
what I
anything.
wanna do is maybe offer an alternative, and that will cost us nothing. And, I mean, we're looking at it, it's something that we could do, we could incorporate in our lessons, we can get students involved in energy savings, and that's what we wanna do. I think that's what, a good direction, but, maybe, if I can, I'll put together a presentation for the next meeting and show you what we can do with that type of data. And just by looking at data like that and tracking it. Okay, that's all I have.
Is there any other new business? Okay, is there reason for a possible executive session?
Yes, it is to provide certified grievance.
Okay. We will be going into executive session to hear grievance. There won't be any action taken after we adjourn from there. Can I get a motion, please?
So moved.
Moved by Mrs. Wright, seconded by Mrs. Spangler. Roll call.
Mrs. Powers?
Aye.
Mr. Spangler?
Aye.
Mrs. Wright? Aye. Mr. Arnold?
All right.
Okay. Thank you all for coming. And congratulations to all of you.
Congratulations to all the new